Okay, welcome back to Classics Less Non-Classic. This is episode number 1157 and episode number 1051. Well, like with the last video, wrapping up one run, wrapping up another series run. This will be discussing the last two trades that collect the series Green Lanterns, which ended 2 years ago. Yep. First up, we have the finale for Tim Seeley's run for Green Lanterns, Volume 8, Ghost of the Past. Though the thing is, the storyline itself, now this collected issues 44 to 49. The main story for Ghost of the Past is roughly a quick four-parter. The last two issues have nothing to do with Tim Seeley at all. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even write the next couple issues. Nope. For some reason, for the next two issues, for the next project, so for the book, the last part of the series, it's on by Aaron Gassaba. I will talk about this one, how really dumb this is. Now, the artwork cover art here is done by Brett Booth, Norm Ram, and Aaron Dahlhaus. The interior artwork is done by four different artists: Ruben Kalik, D. Kent Moran, Ro Benito, and Cedric Ferreira. Now, the main storyline for Ghost of the Past is simply put, now this was set up at the end of the previous storyline, where we're actually going to tie up a loose end related to Jessica Cruz. Like, why she's like so hesitant goes out of her house. Yeah, the whole thing is that she apparently remembers she's still haunted by the events of basically what caused the death of her friends. And she also confronts her past. What past is that? As freaking powering. Yes, Tim Seeley started revisiting something I did not expect that any writer ever revisit, which that was something Jeff Johns did when he created her back in, well, she first showed up in, it was post, I believe it was like post-Forever Evil she first showed up. Yeah, it was back, I think it was like 2013, I think it was when she first showed up. Yeah, and she was powering throughout that entire run before she lost the ability. I think the ring was destroyed, and this is the first time it's ever been brought up, and speaking of powering, like, they had to resolve it by, now the whole thing got started because some alien lawyer, which the Green Lanterns were after, and the Justice League had to chime in because, well, they're part of the team, so why not have her in a book? Okay, but then basically, oh yeah, the ring is called for who, and here's the thing, we get a cameo appearance by Harold Jordan, aka Power Ring of Earth 3. Now, you can tell by his appearance, this is the one that Jeff Johns created. The one who was killed by Sinestro. You're probably thinking, wait, Sinestro killed him? How did that happen? He ripped off his frickin' arm in issues of during the events of Forever Evil. When he easily pointed out, though, you're not Hal Jordan. You're not my Hal Jordan. So he kills him. Yep. That was their period of time when Sinestro was the host of the Parallax symbiote. Yeah, no joke. Yeah, it's interesting though we revisited that, and this is a great storyline. It does end really nicely, and of course Jessica does go to the police station and basically help resolve an old case, the case related to her friends, which I thought that was awesome, the fact she did that. However, we have the two-parter that comes right after this one, a completely stupid storyline, where, oh, there's some anomaly in Jessica's ring. Sick Hal Jordan on her, they take away her ring. Okay. And she's on the run for these two issues. Eventually, it proves to be complete utter nonsense, and this whole thing is never brought up again. The Ghost of the Past storyline was really good. I loved it. The two-part camera after is complete, utter, pointless nonsense. Yeah. But I gotta say, good book, weak ending basically to end this trade. He just won roughly a 9 out of 10. And final thoughts on Tim Seeley's run. Okay run per se, it had a good ending to it. It just that the run itself felt very somewhat beneath basically what the series was before when Sam Humphrey was writing the book. Yes, I still question DC's decision to have both him and Tim Seeley and Sam Humphries swap books. Now, at least Tim Seeley managed to take on the book for more than one story arc. Yeah, Tim Seeley managed to take on the book for, I think it was about 13 issues, like a little over, like, seemed like it wasn't that very long of a run. But now we have a great creative team to end the series. Now it comes to the final trade that collects the series. This is Green Lanterns Volume 9 Evil's Might, collecting issues 50 to 57, written by Dan Jurgens and Mike Perkins. Perkins, when he told me about this story, like, he loved working on it, and you can tell this is his artwork. Yep, and this features, like, okay, the storyline is this, that the Green Lantern Corps has been systematically attacked by creatures called Eon, I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, and you have pretty much all of the Green Lanterns, because how the Green Lantern Corps was already ended prior to this storyline started. Yeah, they had just ended it. So, my guess is because the series is called Green Lanterns, why not kind of turn into a Green Lantern Corps type book while having Jessica Cruz be the start, while still having Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz be the start of the book. Pretty much you have all of the human Green Lanterns appeared in here along Kilowog. You have Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, which is pure fun how they started with him, John Stewart, and Guy Gardner. Yeah, this by far was really interesting, and I love the early on bit where they're at a nightclub and they're palling around with Kyle Rayner. Jessica Cruz admits that she was very nervous and she's just now so used to flying. And Kyle's like, yeah, I believe you. Yeah, the whole thing of, yeah. Now, I mean, the way, I do like the fact, now, you're probably thinking, does Dan Jurgens write the fact that Jessica Cruz has not been Green Lantern, like, she had not been Green Lantern for long? She kind of hasn't. Technically, she's only been Green Lantern, she's only held the title of Green Lantern since 2016. She's only been Green Lantern for publication-wise for 2 years at this point. And it's perfectly understandable why the way Dan Jurgens writes this way. Simon Baz is a clear veteran because he's been Green Lantern since, I think since like 2012. Yeah, like a few years longer than she has. Now, who is attacking the Green Lantern Corps? Who is attacking them? Well, they face some of these people called the Ravagers. No, it's not the group formed by Lobdell and appeared in the pages of The Culling. No, not that group. First, we have death of one of the Guardians. Yes, a Guardian dies. And this is the first time since, let's see, Rise of the Green Lantern Corps, Wrath of the First Lantern, that we had death of a Lantern. Now, a Guardian. Yeah. And, like, they got these group called the Ravagers, and of course, Simon is told to go back there because a mysterious presence is happening on Earth. Like, he has to go to Earth because his ring said so. Like, something was overriding his ring. And he breaks into Fortress of Solitude, and he mentioned no takes place before events of Man of Steel, which I think the place was destroyed. And he basically kind of breaks in. And who is here? Who is the real person behind all this? Why, it's the Cyborg Superman! Yep. Now you're probably thinking, wait, this is Green Lantern, not Superman. Why is he here? Why is he appearing in the Green Lantern book, you might ask, because even though he is a Superman villain, he is also technically an enemy of Green Lantern. I will explain over the course of this. Yep, and Simon is inadvertently directed to free Cyborg Superman. It's like he frees him from a vault. Yeah, he's been kept there since the Doubleshot storyline. Yeah, which involves like right after that. And somehow he has his hands. He's somehow gotten the Phantom Ring. Like apparently it's been hidden on Simon Baz this whole time, ever since Sam Humphries ended. It's like, really? Are you saying that this ring, which Simon took this from the original Green Lantern, by the way, yeah, and he apparently has kept it, and now it's in the hands of the Cyborg Superman, which apparently him putting it on makes him look like the way he did when he was part of the Sinestro Corps. Yeah, if you look at this look, yeah, it's like the artist basically drew when he was part of the Sinestro Corps. Yeah, he was part of the Sinestro Corps at one point. No joke, he seriously was. Now, this is not Mike Perkins' artwork who does this issue. No, this is Marco Sanito. Yes, though Mike Perkins does do the cover for this issue. But yeah, he's the majority of this thing. And he wants, because he wants to take over the universe, because of course he does. That's Cyborg Superman for you. And, well, he goes to Mogo. Yeah, Mogo apparently, the planet itself, he's been manipulating the weather, he's been manipulating the power battery. Yeah, it's a really good epic storyline. And after he apparently been defeated on Mogo, he flees to Earth. And where does he flee to? Coast City! The very same place he destroyed back in the 1990s during the reign of the Superman storyline. Yeah! And do you know why he destroyed it? Well, there was a couple reasons for that. One, this is where his wife was from. Yeah. No joke. And is that great? No, it's Cyborg Superman. And look how Hal shows up, beats the crap out of him, and says, "No, you won't. Literally not today, not ever." And he says this really cool line. Now, I think Jurgens wrote that portion of The Reign of Superman, which had Coast City destroyed, where he says, "You annihilate Coast City once, but that was then. I'm stronger now, strong enough to stop you." And meanwhile, Mogo gets ravaged by the Ravagers. Yeah, and of course, then we have Cyborg Superman and Hal Jordan beat the crap out of each other in Coast City, while also wrecking some buildings. Yep, they wreck buildings. Yep. And then eventually other Green Lanterns show up to stop him. Yep. One guy says, "I'm Sodom, yet I'm Daxam." Yeah. I should point out that when it comes to this Green Lantern suit, yeah, it's a suit that, this suit right here, this alien right here, yeah, that's a suit when the Kyle Rayner run for Green Lantern ended, when he was Ion, he wore this very same look. Yeah, he had this look briefly, then he went back to the classic look that he was known for having. Yep, and then Cyborg Superman is defeated. Yeah, he's defeated by, well, looked like he was thrown into looks like he was buried deep. And then you have this wonderful close-up shot of basically Hal looking at his ring. Yeah, this is a common image you would see when you look at Green Lantern, is Hal looking at his ring like this. Yeah, it's a close-up of his ring. And of course, the Green Lanterns do help clean up the city, and of course, it's also mentioned that, okay, that we need to move, because what happened with Mogo, he's been traumatized. We need to move the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps to Oa. And I think Hal points out that Oa, and was pointed out how Oa was destroyed. Yeah, that was something Robert Venditti did that in the very first issue of Lights Out, where in the opening issue, where let's see, what was his name? Gantlet, the villain of the storyline, he destroyed Oa in the opening issue. Yeah, apparently the planet's been rebuilding quiet, so they basically transferred there, and the series basically ends with Jessica Cruz flying free. And well, look at this page here. Look at Simon Boz. That's the last time we've seen, because it has been 2 years. This came out roughly, I think it was 2018, I think it was. Yeah, these just came out in 2018, early 2018. Yeah, since the series ended. Thank you. Okay, yeah, since the series ended, Simon Boz has not been seen since then. Where the heck he's been? Did he appear in the replacement series that came out as Doug Green Lantern? Nope. Has he appeared in Justice League Odyssey? That was Jessica Cruz. She appears there. The other 4 Green Lanterns, basically John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, and Guy Gardner, they occasionally appear in the Doug Green Lantern book, but does Simon Boz? Nope. Apparently, DC probably felt as though they thought his story was done here. Now, as far as I know, there has been no explained reason why he's not part of any book right now. This is the first time since, I think the last time officially this was, where he was not part of any book, was probably back in during Godhead, where he was briefly featured in that, because Simon Boz is one of those characters that apparently no one cares at DC to put him in the book, unless of course Jeff Johns writes him. Yes, because that's a strange thing coming to Simon Boz, because he first appeared in Green Lantern Volume 5 number 0. That was his first appearance, and then he appeared for the next 8 issues of Green Lantern. Then he disappeared for quite a while, showed up for a couple issues of Godhead, and outside of that, he appeared in Just Like America, where he appeared in the last issue of the opening storyline, was a Fraternity War, and he was their finale of Just Like America. And after that, he showed up in Green Lantern Corps, the Green Lantern Corps Army Lost Army, and Oblivion, and then finally this series. And this series has been really good. Final thoughts, and that's my final thoughts in this series. I have all the trades for this thing. Yeah, here's the first trade. Funny thing about this storyline here, there was a plot thread set up here. There was something more with the Red Lanterns that still to this day, it's been 4 years since the storyline wrapped up, and DC has done nothing with the Red Lanterns since the opening storyline of this. Yep. And originally, Simon and Jessica themselves, like when the series first started, they hated working with each other. And of course, Hal Jordan did a pretty weird thing by taking their power batteries and merged into one. And over time, they've gotten used to this. Yep, they got used to this. And they became partners over the course of this entire series. Here's Volume 2. And this is the start of a storyline with the Phantom Ring. Yeah, apparently Sam Humphries was so big on the Phantom Ring stuff, that became a big thing throughout the entirety of his run for Green Lantern. It was all about the Phantom Ring, with Dan Jurgens revisited the damn thing. Tim Seeley did nothing with it, and then now we have the whole stuff with the Phantom Ring. Like, here is Dr. Polaris for Polarity. Yeah. Which, interesting though, this cover looks very similar to the second cover of the collected issue Jeff Johns run when he was doing like the second of 3 trades that collected his run for the previous one for Green Lantern Volume 5. Also appearance by Batman of all people. Yes, Batman's in this trade because why not? And they were there to take on the frickin' Scarecrow. Volume 4, The First Ring. And that was second to last trade that collected issues from Sam Humphries' run. Here's the finale for the trade, the storyline. Out of Time. And right after this, Humphries went to the Nightwing for one story arc, and then he went to Harley Quinn, where he's still there to this very day. And that kind of wrapped up Humphries' run when yeah, that was kind of a strange thing. He wrapped everything related to the Phantom Ring, though Dan Jurgens did briefly revisit in his run. But the Red Lantern stuff, nope, that was completely ignored. First trade that collects issues from Tim Seeley's run. Also, this is the first trade that didn't have, for this trade series, have the DC Rebirth on top of the logo. Also, the spine changed too. I mean, well, look at this. Like, the spine itself was white, but it has like a little bit of like black lines there for the Rebirth logo. Here, we have this for a couple trades where the spine is like this, still white, and the blue trim. It was like this for just 2 volumes. And here is this volume here. This is volume 7, Superhuman Trafficking, which is a weird thing for the storyline. Yeah, and here's the spine for it. Now, in the case of the last 2 trades, yeah, for the last 2 trades, there's something quite unique because this is after Dark Knight's Metal, so basically what we have, well, the spines are black. Yep, they're black, and because it's Green Lantern, we have the Green Lantern line there. And this is also something that they started with DCU trades. They put pictures, yes, pictures, on the top corner of the spines. Yeah, for Volume 1, it's for 8, it's on Boz. For 9, it's Jessica Cruz, which makes sense. And yeah, this is the entire series of Green Lanterns. All 9 trades. Yep, all 9 trades. And this was a really good series. Yeah, I would say the only thing kind of bad about this particular series is probably Tim Seeley stuff. Yes. Tim Seeley, now Humphries, great run. No denying that. The guy never put out a bad issue the whole run. It seemed like we read it. It seems like he really enjoyed the series. Tim Seeley, on the other hand, just probably did for the paycheck. Yeah, well, they listed as a red hot writer, Tim Seeley. Yeah, his stuff was just mostly just okay. I mean, the last storyline he did was really good, though I thought it was quite dumb. It's like as soon as he leaves, like apparently maybe Jurgens was not ready yet, so they had that filler writer come in for 2 issues before he took over the book. Why Seeley couldn't do 2 more issues of the series, I have no idea. Seeley himself is a great writer. It's just that I guess that in the case of him, that the Green Lantern series is kind of a miss for him. Jurgens was a fantastic choice to do this series with Mike Perkins on the artwork. And I thought he did, like, for these 8 issues for this trade here, I thought he initially did all the issues, but nope, he didn't. Perkins was one of the several artists on this particular book. He was the main artist here with Marco Sanenti and Scott Hanna. Yeah. Of course, Mike Perkins did do all the cover art for this book. Yeah, he did, like, for all the issues, he did the entire cover art. Yeah, but for some reason, partway through the storyline, we had Mike Perkins stop doing the art, but the art wasn't suffer because it still was really good. And interesting twist to have Cyborg Superman be the last villain that Simon Jessica Cruz fight at the end of this series. And it's kind of strange though, like, okay, like in 2016, we had 2 Green Lantern series. We had this series and Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps, and then 2 years later, both series ended and replaced with the Green Lantern with Hal Jordan as the star. Yeah, I don't really know why in the world DC did this for, but they did. It's one of the most odd decisions to make, but at least they chose, in my opinion, a really good writer in the form of Grant Morrison, and having Liam Sharp, an artist I have met, who is a fantastic artist. So, at least DC did good with cover, and Grant Morrison has Green Lantern 4 in pages of JLA, but he has been some comics before, so it's nothing really much new here. Jurgens, I kind of felt as though when you read this storyline here, that he could have potentially been a regular writer for Green Lantern because the guy has some experience doing cosmic stuff. So, I don't see why he couldn't stay in the book. Yeah, I don't know why they decided to end this series for. It's quite strange. Maybe DC wanted to end it because of possibly those sales, or maybe because Jurgens was like contracted to these 8 issues, I don't know. And here's the strange thing about this particular thing. 50 was not a double. Now, normally when a series hits issue 50, it's supposed to be double-sized with about 4 or 5 different artists. Not the case in this series. No, it didn't feel double-sized because usually 50 feels like a finale, but this 50 is a start of his run, of the 8-issue run for the series, which is good, by the way. Yeah, Jurgens, in my opinion, is a great writer. This is one of his best series he's done. Like outside of Superman, this is one of his best series he's done. Now, I have read some of the stuff he did for Nightwing. I'm not a fan of the Rick Race, and don't worry, I will be discussing Rick Race in the future. But yeah, but for next Comic Corner, it will be 2 Green Arrow trades, discussing another Rayo's run in pretty much its entirety. Well, her entirety for the run. I'll be discussing that soon. But yeah, so that's a particular review. Stay tuned for my review for One Piece, discussing the next 10 episodes of the series before I go to Quintessa Quintuplets. Yep. See you next video. Bye.